Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Oh yes, lots of magic to behold. How's it going, friends? Wade Heath hanging out with you today for a new Kingdom Report Live. You know we love rewarding you for watching or listening to the show. All you got to do to win your very own copy of my new book, Standalone: The Walt Disney Way, well, head on over to the Kingdom Report on YouTube. Beneath this video, right after the live show, leave the comment, Disneyland Hotel. Disneyland Hotel is the phrase that pays this week. Yeah, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, in which to enter. If you are the winner, we will reach out to you and get this book shipped your direction, all by entering Disneyland Hotel after the live show is over. Standalone: The Walt Disney Way, now available on Amazon. So if you don't win, you can always go over there and get it yourself. And on today's broadcast, Disneyland is closed twice this week due to a relentless storm. The Disneyland Hotel and its hotel counterparts offering up some discounts this spring. The first of many Walt Disney World After Hours events, well, it's sold out. And Disney has struck a deal to outsource to Sony when it comes to DVD creation. Yeah, that and so much more, along with how to do Disneyland Resort in the rain. You stick around, your Disney family is back, and Kingdom Report Live begins for you right now.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Well, it's a much better looking day outside at the Disneyland Resort than it has been lately, that's for sure. A much more comfortable day, a day filled with perhaps a bit of warmth, a little bit of sunshine, Space Mountain alongside Main Street Station, and you see Grand Californian Hotel off in the distance, and the brand new Pixar Place Hotel, ladies and gentlemen. Gosh golly, we are so glad to be back with you here live at the Warner Brothers Studios Media District in Burbank, California. I am Wade Heath, your esteemed host for this edition of Kingdom Report Live. Great to be back in front of cameras. It has been a little while, hasn't it? Always hate when we have to go away for a bit, but we are back and now bringing you all that Disney Parks news and info that you need. Disneyland to Disney World and beyond. I have to share with you, though, that, you know, it's a hard world out there when it comes to Disney Parks news sometimes, and unfortunately, it's not always pleasant, it's not always positive, but we always seek to find that positive slant, right? We always seek to find that good news to share with you, along with our honest opinions. That's what this show is all about, whether you listen on any of the podcast apps or you watch via Facebook Live or YouTube. It always means so much. To be a part of your weekend in any way is a gift. And we invite you to go ahead, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube, or give us a like on Facebook. If you haven't already, rate and review the podcast on any platform that you get this very show. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to have those responses come our way. All that feedback is great. Even the more critical notes, it means so much to have your thoughts in our direction. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a programming note for you. Garrett Hassel, our esteemed Kingdom Report reporter, not with us this week. He is on assignment in red and khaki taking care of some business, but he will be back on a future broadcast. The rest of the Disney family is here, though. Princess in Residency, travel agent extraordinaire Katrina Manzone.
Hi.
Alongside the fairest of them all, theme park analyst Tyler Crouch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goopy nose.
Yeah, Goofy is a great man, so I'm happy to have a lot in common with him.
I support him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who one can just dream to be as great of a father as Goofy is.
It's true.
He probably took classes.
Selfless.
You think he took classes?
I do. Yeah.
I think he read a lot of books.
I do too.
He read a lot of those Being a Dad for Idiots books.
Right.
Yeah.
How to best be. Yeah.
No, it's not like you're an idiot if you read one of those books. Those are just I don't know. That's what I think of when I think of guides, I think of For Idiots.
I mean, he does do those fun sports guides with the talkover guy, and I can just see the talkover. I can just hear the talkover guy
That was in the
reading
back of
the
my
book.
mind.
Yeah.
Goofy's How to Parent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That'd be a great little 4-minute episode.
How to Father.
That is the great thing about Goofy is he doesn't care if he knows how to do it or not. He'll just get out there and try it. We can all aspire.
The old college try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's our Goofy.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Well, it's great to have the two of you with us.
Yes.
Even if we're flying without the goose.
Yeah.
Got to do our best.
But we got the goof.
We do.
got
We
the
got the goof. And, of course, off camera, as always, producer Tony, making the world go round. So we're grateful for that, too. But we cannot... My goodness. But we cannot start a show unless, of course, we have a toast. We have to toast the show before things get off and rolling. Katrina, the honor is yours this week. Who, what, where, when, how are we toasting?
Honestly, I really wanted to toast us being back together again because I feel like it's been a really long time.
Truly.
A month?
Beginning of January.
More than a month.
Right.
So, yeah, toast to being back together again.
Unity,
guys.
togetherness.
Yay, team!
Hooray!
Woo! Tastes so
best.
sweet.
Oh, man. Tequila's great. I love tequila.
Midday tequila somehow brings out the best in you, Tyler. I've noticed.
That's what I've been telling my wife.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let it happen, Katrina.
Silly me.
Gotta let it happen.
Thank you,
man.
Ed. Good Lord.
Well, there has been a lot going on in the world of Disney lately, from coast to coast and in the Disney Company itself. Let's catch up on those headlines. It is time for the Disney News Review. Disney News Review time. Taking a look at some of the biggest stories from across the Walt Disney Company in the past week. Orange County Register reporting that bad weather forced Disneyland to close early this week, as well as other Southern California theme parks, as heavy rainstorms swept through Southern California. Disneyland closed 2 hours early and California Adventure an hour early on Tuesday because of the continuing rain that both dampened spirits and shoes. At the happiest place on earth, Disneyland closed at 10 p.m. instead of midnight, while California Adventure closed at 9 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. And if you're planning a trip to the Disneyland Resort in 2024, guess what? There are some hotel discounts you should know about. WDW Magazine reports that when it comes to the Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, the Disneyland Hotel, and the villas at Disneyland Hotel, you can grab yourself some discounts for sure. Save up to 15% on Sunday through Thursday night stays at select Disneyland Resort hotels. Grand Californian Hotel and Spa offering 10% off standard rooms, 15% off premium. Disneyland Hotel, 10% off standard rooms, 15% off premium. And the villas at Disneyland Hotel, 10% off standard rooms, 15% off premium rooms there as well. You can book now through June 3rd, and travel must be completed by June 7th, 2024. Offer valid from March 11th to June 6, 2024. WDW Magic reports that this past Wednesday, the first Disney After Hours event to sell out in 2024, following a successful 2023, where the vast majority of After Hours events sold out, happened. Yep, on event nights, guests get an extra 3 hours at Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. Guests attending the separately ticketed events get more time to experience attractions, character greetings, and unlimited complimentary snacks, including select beverages. After Hours pricing from summer 2024 ranges from $145 to $175, and a $30 discount remains available for DVC members and Disney World annual pass holders. WDW Magic also reporting the $35 multi-park Genie Plus option at Disney World sold out again this past week, being priced at the highest levels of 2024. And although the multi-park option sold out, you were still able to purchase Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom at $25, Hollywood Studios at $32, Epcot at $28, and Magic Kingdom at $35. All four parks are just a few dollars short of their all-time highs from Christmas in 2023. Individual Lightning Lane prices are at their highest levels. Disney Genie Plus is a purchase option within the Disney Genie service that makes the former FastPass line available at select attractions, now called Lightning Lane. Certain headline attractions are not a part of Genie Plus, and Lightning Lane access at those attractions require an individual attraction purchase, which varies in price. And finally, Variety reports Disney is outsourcing a big piece of its home entertainment division to Sony Pictures Entertainment, which will manufacture, distribute, and market the Mouse House's DVDs and Blu-ray discs and other physical media. As part of the deal, Sony will market, sell, and distribute all of Disney's new releases and catalog titles on physical media to consumers through retailers and distributors in the US and Canada. Disney will continue to manage its own digital media like premium video on demand. It's unclear if this will result in layoffs at Disney. However, the studio is expected to conduct an internal assessment across all business functions that support physical entertainment amid the transition to Sony, according to sources familiar with the agreement. According to Disney, the licensing model allows the studio to continue to offer films and TV shows through physical retailers and to respond to consumer demand more efficiently. The company said the shift is consistent with strategies it's implemented company-wide as well as transitions in other markets. Some would say an unusual deal when it comes to Disney striking a bit of a relationship with Sony at this point. What the heck, you might be asking yourself? Yeah, it's the truth when it comes to getting the physical entertainment products such as DVDs and Blu-ray discs together. Disney is now looking to Sony for that. Tyler, your assessment of Disney now relying on another entertainment company to take over its DVD and Blu-ray business?
I'm actually not surprised. To be honest, I kind of fairly recently learned that because I haven't really thought about the distribution very much, but I kind of just realized recently that they do it themselves, which is a little bit, that's more surprising to me, honestly, because I just feel that that would cost them more money than they would want to spend, which is exactly why they're doing this. They've kind of been slowly outsourcing things left and right, and I feel like it was kind of just a matter of time before they also outsourced their distribution of media. I mean, it also makes sense for it to be Sony. I mean, they already have a working relationship with them. They've been, doing the Spider-Man stuff, among other things, and then Sony created Blu-ray, right? So, I mean, I feel like if anybody is going to be good at creating physical media, it's going to be Sony. So it just makes sense, I feel like, for both companies. But it is another thing added to the list of stuff that Disney is doing to just like minimize cost. This is what they're going to keep on doing. And I think for a while they thought it would be better for them to have control, but they see now they're willing to let up a little bit of that control to save a little bit of money.
Kind of makes you wonder, too, the idea of, is this a shift because streaming is becoming so prevalent? People are buying DVDs far less than ever before. Is this a shifting around of assets and, capital so that it's no longer a burden on the company? It's no longer as much of a burden. It's still something that they have to pay into, but it's less of a burden now. You think they're priming for that time when DVDs become obsolete, which is crazy to think of, but I think it's coming.
I mean, I think that it's 100% what you just said too. It's like, and that boils down to, like, I think I said it, I was saying it sort of in a more boiled down way, which is like just saving money, which is saving labor, not having to focus on this type of stuff. This is something that they can pass off to another company that they know can handle it. They know they have an invested interest in digital media doing well because they're the ones that are selling PlayStations and things still.
Right.
So I mean, it makes sense for them to want to do a good job, and it's at the end of the day, Disney just is like, we're focused on our other stuff over here. We don't need to be focused as much on that. We can save a little bit of money. Let's pass it off to somebody else that we know can do the job.
Sony taking over now.
Easy.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully that relationship remains cozy. I see Todd in chat mentioning the Spider-Man relationship, much like you did, Tyler. It's like, oh yeah, let's keep them close.
Yeah, I think
business,
that we've heard a little bit of turmoil about the Spider-Man stuff happening recently between the two companies. That I've heard a lot of things that Sony really wants it to just be over the top and super bombastic, and Disney is a little bit more like, hey, we got to take our time, like let's not go too crazy. And I think they're butting heads about that. But I think that the two departments are like very different departments. I don't think that the people that are making the content really have that much to do with the people who are in charge of of like how they're going to distribute the content.
But we got a financial relationship, so it makes it more lucrative, right? More of a reason to keep each other close and feeling good, and hopefully everything works out on the Marvel front. And I know you're right, totally disconnected, but I hope everything works out on the Marvel front, because that Spider-Man franchise, man, there aren't many things in the Marvel world at the moment that seem to be winning anymore.
Yeah.
Less and less it seems to be. So Spider-Man still seems to be that one franchise that has power to pull people in, right?
For
and
sure.
we all know that Katrina off saving the world in Italy like she was many years ago, much like Peter Parker did, right? Much like Spider-Man did.
Have a lot in
Did.
common.
Yeah, you two are like one and the same.
Yeah, except I don't have to do spider stuff.
Right.
I think if she was bitten by a radioactive spider, she would literally just die of a heart attack.
Yeah,
Like,
I
she
think
wouldn't
I would
even
just
get
probably
the
throw myself off a
superpowers.
building or something.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
she'd
well, this is
like,
it. Bye, guys. Whee!
I'll show you how I can jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, well, I'm part spider now, so I'm done. I'm done.
dead.
Sling that web.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm over.
Enough for you.
I'm over it today. It's like
Right.
that. If I don't even want to think about it.
Don't think about it.
I don't want to get bit by anything.
Spider, watch her scream.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
I don't want it. You can keep it, Peter.
We leave Sony and move across the country to the East Coast, Walt Disney World to be exact, where Disney After Hours, the events that you know and love, is those upcharge after hours experiences inside the theme parks. Well, they are back and off and running, so much so that the first one of 2024 has sold out. And Katrina After Hours events are probably more expensive than ever. I say probably, they are. They've become more expensive than ever. And already they're selling out. In your mind, are they a good value? And what type of park guest would you think might be best suited for paying the extra after hours? Like, what do you have in mind as the ideal park guest for this type of an event? Is it good for families? Is it good for solos? Is it good for couples? Is it, what do you think measures up to this?
I mean, it is very expensive. It is like $145 to $175, depending on the night, depending on the park, right? So you got Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, and honestly, I think it's if it's for, I don't think it's great for kids. To be honest, I think it's pretty expensive if they're toddlers. Like if they're probably maybe like 10 and under, I don't think it's a great idea because they're super late at night, and that's when little kiddos have to go to bed, right? And so they're gonna get fussy and angry unless they have a nap.
I bet there'd be a lot of whining in those
yeah,
hours, right?
I don't think it'd be great unless they had a nap in the afternoon and those parents didn't push them all day at the parks, and they maybe had a pool day and like a relaxing day, and then they spent their park ticket money instead of a park day on that day to go later at night to do it. Maybe because then you don't have to spend money on Genie Plus. Also, because then you're saving money and then
extra savings. You're right.
And then you get a little extra savings, and then the park lines aren't as long, and you don't have to waste money on the ice cream snacks and water and whatnot because they're included in the price as well. So if you want to get your kids sick on ice cream, have at it. Just keep eating those babies all night.
Have at it.
Eat the babies. Oh my god.
Eat the babies. Don't eat the baby.
It's terrible.
Don't eat the. But I think it's great for people like over, not with toddlers, maybe if you're a group of friends that want to just go and you don't want to have a park day that day and you want to do like a pool day, hang out at your resort, and then spend that, because park tickets are about that same price.
Sure.
So you get like kind of a bang for your buck in a way if you're going to go for those 3 hours and you're going to go at it with the rides and you're going to try to get all the rides in. There's not really going to be like a fireworks show or anything like that. But then you get like water, soda, popcorn, ice cream. I think that's pretty much it. So it's if you're able to have the money, I think it's good if you're going to do the rides. If you're going to show up and just like linger, it's not worth it.
Don't just hang out.
Don't just hang out.
No
like
loitering.
This is for like rides and stuff. Like Tyler and I did it like once because we didn't do a park that day and we did it for Magic Kingdom. And so we didn't do Magic Kingdom that day. We were at like Epcot or something, and then we did the Magic Hours at Magic Kingdom. We rode like every single ride. No wait.
You accomplished it all?
Done.
Way
And
to go.
it was easy. We had, we did the water. We got some ice cream, took a bite, threw it away. And it was great. I had a great time. And then I finally got to watch the Kiss Goodnight, which I never get to see at Magic Kingdom, which I thought was really cool because you're pretty much there the whole night, remember? And then I was about to pass out of heat exhaustion because I didn't really know what humidity was.
Well,
So I literally almost just died and passed out. But I got to see the Kiss Goodnight, and I remember it, and it was great. And it was a really cool experience to have. But we got to ride every single ride. So if you're going to go for 3 hours, boom, 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 to every single ride, it's totally worth it. And don't waste your money on a park day that day, maybe. And then maybe just enjoy your resort because you paid for it.
right.
Yeah.
Far less people at the resort throughout the day.
Enjoy the pool. We never enjoy the pool in Florida, to be honest. Like we always are at the park because we always have like things to do. And sometimes I get jealous when I see people just having like a little fun
Look at them
pool
relaxing.
day. I'm like, look at them relaxing by the pool. I can't do that.
What a life.
I know. It seems fun.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy. Relaxing on a vacation
Who does that?
at Disney World?
Take a bite of ice cream, throw it away?
Wild. Yeah.
Do the Katrina?
Yeah.
as
I
we
eat the
call it?
ears.
Yeah.
And then I throw it away.
So wasteful. But it's included.
It's included. I mean, yeah, I'm like, it's just,
I paid
I
for
don't
it.
eat a lot of sweets. So 2 bites is good for me. But I do like the ice cream. So it's really fun to have like the sweet and then you go for the salty and then
Yeah.
you get some popcorn and then you're like, this is great. Now I got to wash it down with some salty Dasani.
Oh, I'll
Yummy.
be more dehydrated in the end somehow.
Yeah.
Explain that.
It's crazy. Anyway, but yeah.
It's complicated.
It's kind
It's complicated. You don't get smart water with this magic, extra hours things. You don't get free smart water.
Even smart
But-
water's not very good, to be honest.
No, but
We
it's
don't have to
still
get into that.
delicious. Let's have a water debate
yeah,
right
water
now.
debate.
Here we go.
That's what people tune in for.
Yeah.
These after-hours events, though, Tyler, they are more plentiful now, too, for the sake of this new year. I also wonder, for people that might be considering a themed night on the Disneyland side, these are becoming more popular. A lot of them do sell out on the West Coast in particular. Now that they're starting to sell out on the East Coast with sort of less of a theme overall, I'm wondering if this is one of those things where you might encourage somebody, go buy now. Don't wait. Go buy now. If this is really something you want to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Sure. I don't know. You know what I think would be cool actually is for them to just do unthemed nights at Disneyland too. Like I just want them to do like late nights at Disneyland and just I don't need there to be a million characters around. And I just want to go and enjoy like the park at night. Is that so much to
Is that so hard to ask?
Like can't we just enjoy it like the way it's meant to be enjoyed? Like
We need to
At
over-theme
night?
everything now. I think that's the rule that we've learned is everything needs a theme.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, they do a special fireworks show at the Disneyland one because at Disney World you don't really need it because you're already probably gonna be there. So at Disneyland, what are they gonna do? Do Mickey's Mix Magic? No one.
I
likes
need
that.
projections in my life.
I like Mickey's Mix Magic.
Well,
What?
good for you.
Is that weird?
I'm glad you.
No,
I'm glad you.
come
like
on
it.
now.
It's all
Oh,
right.
Tony doesn't even know. Tony's like, yeah, that's a little weird. He's like, He never
don't
even
even go to
seen
the
the
park.
show.
He's just
Tony,
shaking
calm
his head.
down.
He's like, I don't know. Majority saying meh. So.
How dare you?
You don't even
No, but
know.
I mean, it's fun for like a theme. It would be great if they kept with like a good theming. I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying is just having like a good, easygoing park night.
I think that'd be fun. But I feel like you're right, though. Like, get in now because it's going to keep getting more and more expensive, right? Because it's just, if they're selling these out and they're making the money, then they're just going to keep on making them more expensive. And, that's how it's going to go.
It's very abundant. I didn't really realize how many days they had for the Disney World stuff.
Yeah.
Like I honestly thought it was kind of like maybe a few like at each park for after hours, and then seeing the list, I'm like, did they add like a lot more?
I think
they
they just
must have, because obviously like demand is like, whew.
Yeah, I think they just have so many hotel guests that it works out for them. They don't really have that over in land. It's more just like they have to rely on the people that are coming to these parties are more of the regulars. So
makes you wonder too with the addition of the having so many more to choose from in terms of dates. Are we now in a place where they really are restricting that capacity to something really comfortable? Because that's been the problem in the past is you pay the upcharge, you go to these things, and it's just as crowded, sometimes if not more crowded than a traditional park day. And people are like, well, what the H? What was the point of this? So is the extension and addition of all of these events now put in place for the sake of mitigating that and soaking a little more out of the situation and still giving a good experience?
I am curious what it's like now, because when we did it, there was like nobody there. It was really peaceful, really relaxing. I've never seen a Magic Kingdom that way ever at night in the summer. So it was, every line was like 5 minutes, like walk on half of the time. I think the bigger rides had maybe it was like 15-20 minutes, but even then it was like we rode Seven Dwarfs Mine Train like 5 times in a row, just walk on, just get off, get back on.
There's a dream.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I think this is enough. I'm really sick now. But it was fun. But now I don't know. Like, I mean, not Oogie Boogie Bash. Mickey's Not So Scary. I mean, they obviously oversell that one, and that's like a private event because they have places for people to go, right? They have the parade, they have the fireworks, they have different shows, they have dining open.
It's broken up by entertainment and offerings in between.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really have that for these after-hour events. It's really just about the park. Well, like Tyler said, right? Can't we just have it be about the park?
Can't we just love the park
for what it is?
For what it is, the way that it wants to be loved. We're trying to just dress it up into something it doesn't need to be.
Come on, gang. Love it for what it is.
Disney Channel, for God's sake.
Disney Channel night.
I was very upset by the meet and greet lineup. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Very disappointed. I was waiting for like a Hannah Montana. I was waiting for a Xenon, Protozoa, Nebula. Do you know how many cool face characters it'd be if like Protozoa was there and he's like zoom zoom zoom.
You're right.
And then Xenon running up being like, oh my God, Nebula. And then she's like, oh my God.
Like that.
It'd be cool if they brought their doll too, like the one that she made.
Yeah.
The little doll, and then Xenon's holding it. It'd be really great. Missed opportunity, you guys.
Like I told Garrett, he and I, we need to go to this event as cosplaying Zach and Cody.
Oh my God, that'd be really
It'll be great.
That'd be so great. But which Zach and Cody though? Like on the cruise ship or like in the hotel?
Are we on deck or are we living the sweet life?
Yeah.
In the hotel.
Boy.
Right?
Which one?
You guys should both just split down the middle, right? Split down the middle.
Yeah,
and have the hotel on one side and the cruise on the other side.
And
That'd be great.
Tyler, you could come as
Mosby.
I was going to say our ballroom singing mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to. Yeah, I didn't know. I was thinking about the mom. I was thinking about Mosby. Yeah, I think I'd rather be the mom. Mom is cooler.
And Esteban.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's favorite bellman.
I never got into that.
What about London?
Sorry. Oh, London Tipton.
You want to be London?
An icon.
I could be London.
An icon for sure.
And then I'll marry Macaulay Culkin.
Perfect.
Right, and then kept cute babies.
Full real life crossover. Yeah. Well, you let us know. After hours events, are they your cup of tea? Is that something you are interested in? Are you buying a ticket now, knowing that they're starting to sell out already out at Walt Disney World? We would love to hear from you. Hope you got your thinking cap ready. Put it on. Disney trivia time is here. The trivia moment has arrived. You've all been waiting for. Grab yourself, like I said, your thinking cap, because this, my friends, is where you get to test your knowledge on all things Disney. Some things obscure, some things very pop culture centric, some things a little ridiculous, but all things Disney related, that's for sure. And today on the Trivia Minute, we begin with a question about Disneyland Park's history.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
I will share with you
Uh-oh.
that New Orleans Square opened in 1966, but what month did New Orleans Square open? Was this April 1966, May 1966, or July of 1966? We begin with Katrina.
Why me?
You're closest to me.
Why not Tony? He's even closer.
Tony is always what we save for the finale. You just
true.
never know what he's going to say.
You got to break out the big guns last.
Right, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. You know what? I'm just going to say July.
And why do you want to say that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like May or July. I'm like, I don't know what sounds better. And so I'm just going to go with like July.
All right.
It just sounds
This is one of the
sounds
last,
wrong, so I'm going to do it. It's just
This is one of the last events that Walt Disney attended before he passed. Remember, he passed the same year. This is one of the last Disneyland things he did, in fact. So it's pretty wild to think about that New Orleans Square holds that piece of history. You know, that New Orleans Square really is that Walt Disney, I guess, final anchor.
Grand finale.
What would we call it? I guess like his last real. He didn't open any other land after that. You know, he didn't open anything else. Like
His
that
last
was his
fingerprint on the park.
Yeah, his last fingerprint on the park where it would articulate it. You bet. So, at any rate, New Orleans Square, 1966, opened what month, Tyler? April, May, or July?
I'm gonna go July too, actually.
Real?
Because that's what I was thinking before she even said anything. I'm thinking that because I figured they'd want to hit that summer crowd. You know, the kids are out of school, the asphalt is still liquid, and
Ladies' heels are
the ladies'
going
heels
down.
are going down, and we're opening New Orleans Square. You know, July.
But Katrina thinks it's wrong.
so everything's
explain
wrong.
that.
Okay.
So if I turn out right, I'll be like, woohoo!
I think she's right though that it's probably either May or July, but I'm going July just because I don't know. May seems too early. Like I would if June was in there, I'd have been like, oh, June.
Seems
that's a sweet spot.
patriotic.
June.
July.
But also, I feel like
Yeah.
nobody like I don't know. I feel like it's coming up to April here, and nobody's talking about New Orleans Square. So
Oh, it's
you know,
true.
I don't know.
We're not celebrating it, right?
Nobody's
Not
celebrating
yet.
yet, right?
No talk
So
about it, yeah.
I'm going July.
July for you both. Very good. Tony, in what
Yes.
month did New Orleans Square first open at Disneyland Park? Was it April, May, or July of 1966?
I knew it was 66 for
You
sure.
did. You knew
Yeah,
it.
I knew that.
You had a
way
feeling.
in advance. So I'm going to say May because they are getting ready for the summer crowds and they want to get those people in June to buy the tickets. July seems like summer's almost over.
By the booklet.
Halfway through. So that's my take.
So Tony says it's gonna be May.
It's
gotta
going-
be May. Good
It's
job.
gotta be May.
Traditionally, when Disney does kick off their summer campaigns, it is in May.
Yeah.
So that is an excellent point. You're right.
But did they do that back then?
Right. Yeah, 1966.
Did they
You
even
know,
know back
1966 is a different time.
What are you, 11 years into the park being open at that point, right? So you're right. You know, I think even that period of time, weren't they like closed most days of the week? You know, it was one of those situations.
Maybe.
It was like Monday and Tuesday. They weren't even open. Yeah.
I wasn't even born.
You weren't even born. Tony, you came along
Neither
in
was I.
the year 2002,
Yes.
all young and hip.
Yep, that's me.
So cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Little did you know, Tony.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the answer to this question,
Drum roll.
in what month did New Orleans Square first open at Disneyland Park? Is there a drum roll? Why did you say
I don't
that?
have a drum
Well,
roll.
then don't say it. So,
It just sounded good.
the month would be July. Congratulations, you two.
Yay! See?
I'm not giving
You're not
you,
wrong.
I'm not giving you a right answer.
I don't get a good sound effect. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Katrina, never doubt yourself.
See, but then if I do and then I get it, then I'm like, woo!
So it's better to set yourself up.
Yeah,
anyway.
because if I set myself up for success and then I like lose, then I'm like, oh man.
You know, Garrett, he doubts himself, and he still loses.
That's
That's
true.
why
True.
I chose
Does this
to be
count
Garrett
against
today.
him because he missed this show, and so these two will be wrong for him?
I like that.
So he's even like deeper in the weeds. So he
Yeah.
has to show up and try to participate and get it right. to stay up on the.
Our trivia dunderhead,
yeah.
Garrett Hassel.
Now he's gonna owe you one too.
Me one?
Yeah, because if you're gonna get the answers wrong for him in his name, then now he owes you one.
Right.
I don't want to get him wrong in his name.
The
That's
grand
what I thought you were
scorecard
saying.
matters.
Did I misunderstand? Anyway.
No, if he doesn't show up, then they're automatically wrong. So if we're like 5 out of 5, he's also like.
I
you know,
see.
like,
I
he's
was
losing.
misunderstanding.
I thought the
Because like
same
right
thing
now
you
he's
did.
like,
Okay.
oh, I'm 5 out of 5, but then I'm like, well, technically you didn't even show up at the show, so you're not 100%.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. What was I thinking?
I'm not gonna get him right for him. Crazy, you left us.
You don't deserve it, Garrett. Gosh.
Okay.
Well, the next question in the Disney Trivia Minute. In what year did Michael Eisner and Steve Jobs announce that the Walt Disney Studios and Pixar agreed to jointly produce 5 movies over the next 10 years? Was this in 1995, 1996, or 1997? Again, in what year did Michael Eisner and Steve Jobs announce that Disney Studios and Pixar were coming together to produce 5 movies over the next 10 years? 1995, 1996, 1997. Katrina? This was a big announcement. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
These forces coming together. This was climactic. Mega.
I don't know.
Super forces unite. That's what was happening here.
I'm like trying to remember like films back then and what age I was back then.
I mean, it's
I'm old.
impossible to know either.
I know.
Who can recall? It's been so long.
What is math?
Ancient times now.
Ancient.
I watched like Who's the Boss and I'm like, what year is that? The 90s. Oh my God, this seems like so.
Never forget where
old.
you were when Full House went off the air in 1995.
I remember watching the very last.
I do
episode.
too. Yeah, Michelle.
And
on
then
her
both
horse.
Michelles came out and you're like, wow.
Unbelievable.
Then it all took a bow and you're like,
Wow.
and she got her memory back. Anyway.
What a finale. And they didn't even know it was the end.
I feel like they just made all this up.
Not at all.
Anyway, if you know, you know. Okay, so the answer to your question.
Would be. In your mind.
I don't know. It sounds like an even number should be the thing, right? Like an odd and an even together. I don't know. I'm going to say B, 1996.
What?
Just cuz or what?
I don't know. It seems
An
like
odd and an even
I feel
together,
like
it's
94
like-
is
Yeah, I don't
too.
know
Wait,
what
what
that
is it?
means.
95? 96, 97? 95 seems like too early. I
Okay.
don't know why. But 97 seems too late because it takes years for them to produce movies.
Especially at that time, right? Like that was like you have to build because of the computer technology. It took forever for them to even It's amazing how fast they can put things out. At
I'm
this
trying
point.
to think back of when we went to that D23 like panel of when they were talking about stuff. And I like can't think of it.
Oh, did they reference this?
I swear to because it
The
was
history?
like about Pixar and stuff, and then we watched like the first like Pixar like things that they were testing and whatnot.
Eisner
like that
Jobs
scary
agreement?
A
baby,
long time ago.
like that scary baby when they were like, "Wah."
Oh, the dancing
The-
baby thing.
The
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Was that in Knick-Knack? Was that one in
Oh,
Knick-Knack?
maybe
The
it
baby was
in
in Knick-Knack, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
was because the toy was trying to give the baby something,
And
right?
the baby
and
was
the baby
frightening.
It was.
The baby was a
scary.
villain. Straight up.
Straight
Go
up.
look up the Knick-Knack baby and,
Babies be
and
evil.
then don't sleep for the
Don't
rest
sleep.
of tonight.
It yeah. Scary.
the
Anyway,
the Eisner Jobs deal, and then ultimately, remember that led to a collapse in relationship, and Michael Eisner nearly lost Pixar forever, and it was Mr. Iger came in and saved the day in the end.
Uh-oh.
He came in and repaired that relationship, brought Pixar back, and now Pixar is a part of the company for good.
There's a hotel.
Hotel even
you know?
Land?
attached
There's
to
a
it.
land.
Yeah, land, all of it.
Restaurants?
But Tyler, in what year did Michael Eisner and Steve Jobs announce that the Disney Studios and Pixar agree to jointly produce 5 movies over the next 10 years? 95, 96, or 97?
I think it's 1996 also. And I think that because I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Toy Story came out in 1995. And then
Did it?
it
I-
did really, really well.
Is it 94 or
And
95, right? Yeah, it was like
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, you make us lots of money and we like money, so we should make more money together. And
This is the future of animation.
Oh yeah.
and also that too was that it was like they were also investing in the technology. Like they knew that like this technology was going to need to be forwarded, and it would be important. So I think that they realized very quickly that, hey, we should make more movies with these people. And I feel like 97 is too late because things were getting off the ground. Like Bug's Life, like a Bug's Life came out in 98 or 90. Anyway, let's just say B is what I think it is.
So you and Katrina both
1996.
Both going with 96.
Yeah.
All right. And so you solidarity this week. The two of you remaining solid on both choices here. And producer Tony, we know you're off camera. However, we always like to ask you too. Eisner Jobs had this relationship, said we are going to agree between our studios to produce 5 movies over the next 10 years. When did they do that? 95, 96, or 97?
C97 mic drop.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. Did you Google it?
He seems so certain. Seems so certain, this man over here.
Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to this question, the Eisner Jobs Pixar Disney relationship for 5 more movies over the next 10 years. Tony is right. It's C, 1997.
No.
That was for you guys.
Good job. Good.
And this is for you.
Yeah.
I think Donald's happy for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
sure.
He was cussing you out for not believing me.
My goodness. Well, so your win is immediately erased.
But I don't feel bad.
Poopers and
I'm just
scoopers.
shocked. But see, if I knew it and then I didn't know it, then I'd be even sadder.
Your strategy is so bizarre, but all right. Yes, thank you for that.
I tried. Yeah.
Right,
The odds and
know.
evens together.
Whatever that means.
The odds just seemed right.
I don't know.
Things Katrina
But it was wrong.
says.
I'm still not sure
Weekly.
what that means, but I still love you.
Weekly on the Kingdom Report, yes. Well, we hope you had fun playing along. Did you get it right? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you as always. And you stick around. There's plenty more Kingdom Report live for you next. You know, Walt Disney, he is seen as sort of this mythical creature nowadays, this magical man that could do no wrong. And yet, he spent most of his life steeped in failure. From heartache to betrayal to death and even a breakdown of his own. It's often said that artists are tortured souls, and I think it's safe to say that Walt Disney was a tortured soul by his own standards most of his life. Walt Disney had to do some of the hardest things any person can do, and that is convince others of unimaginable dreams he had solely in his head. And oftentimes he had to stand alone in his own visions to make them happen. He was surrounded by family, he was surrounded by fawning fans in the public wherever he went, and yet so often he had to stand alone in his decisions and his choices. Only he understood what it was he was trying to do. He's more like you and me than I think a lot of us assume. Stand Alone, The Walt Disney Way. 10 Lessons for Harnessing Your Own Magic. A new book by me, Wade Heath. Available at Amazon or wherever books are sold. Be inspired by Walt Disney all over again. It is time for the Disney List. This week we are all focused on a couple of things you should know when it comes to rain at the Disneyland Resort. Rain, go away. One of the worst things to have to deal with in a Disney theme park. We're going to ask our team how to make the most of a rainy day at the Disneyland Resort. You got 2 theme parks, got a downtown Disney district there, 3 Disney Resort hotels on property. How do you make the most of it? Lately here in Southern California, rain has been relentless. It's been wild to say the least. We have had a lot of rain, and yes, it washes out a park day for sure, especially in a theme park environment where far less has a roof covering than, say, a Walt Disney World cluster of parks. Walt Disney World was really built with the idea of shade and cover in mind for the sake of the harsh conditions that can blow through at any moment, whereas our California parks out here, not so much in terms of indoor activities, and so it leaves a lot of people wondering, does Disney even stay open during huge rainstorms? And like, what do they do? Often they do close. A news story today was that, Disney closes early on exceptionally rainy days. So we're going to ask our team, how do you make the most of a rainy day? And here to talk about it, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzone. I'm feeling damp just talking about it. I don't know about you.
Hey, me too, brother.
Oh my God.
So Katrina.
Yes.
How would you make the most of a rainy day at the resort? You go to the park, because you got to think about this, right? A lot of people plan these trips well in advance, right?
Yeah.
They show up for a park day. They've already bought their ticket. A lot of people, this reservation era that we deal with and stuff like that, there's a lot of planning that goes into these things, you know, and people have to plot out vacation time. So they get there. It's not really like they can just walk away and go, oh, I'll come back later. Most people aren't locals. So they come into this environment and now it starts pouring. What do they do in your mind?
See, the thing is like, okay, Florida weather is weird, right? You can't forecast it. It just, you look at your phone and you're like, hi phone, what's the weather like today? And it's like, maybe there's a percentage of
we'll
rain.
See,
it's like 20%. And then you go into the park and you're like, hey, hurrah. And then all of a sudden this big dark cloud just comes over and goes whoosh. And you can't plan for it. In California, on the other hand, you could pick up your little phone and it'll probably say before your trip, there's probably going to be like a 50% chance of rain. If it says that, then I would probably bring some rainy attire. And then our rain is like normal rain where it rains and it's not humid outside, so you can like bundle and stuff. So what I would say to like make the most of your trip is check the weather. Very important before you go. 2, bring like ponchos, bring umbrellas, bring right shoes, bring rain shoes, because this is the best day of your life when you go to Disneyland on a rainy day. It is literally the coolest time to ever go. Yes, you paid a lot of money for your tickets. Yes, there's probably not going to be a parade. Yes, there will not be fireworks at all. And the park, when it says it closes early, they say if it's like on a Friday and it rains, that they, if it's like normal Friday, yes, they close at midnight. If it rains, they may close at 10, so you're losing like 2 hours. So it's not going to be like Knott's Berry, where if it rains, they literally shut down the park.
Everybody out.
They're like, it rains. Okay, you guys, we're closed. Sorry, you can use your ticket in like 3 months, and then it's expired, So with Disneyland, I think it's really great for you to like prepare yourself. Have an umbrella, so when you're walking in, you have your poncho on already. You have your umbrella, so you're extra dry. You wear the right shoes, and you wear gloves. Make sure you're prepared, and then you just have fun. Yes, no rides have overhangs, so you can stay dry. So everything is out in the open, but no one's going to be there.
No one's going to be there?
So you're literally just going to be riding rides all day. So if you're okay with rain, just go and just enjoy the day and like splash in the puddles, enjoy it. It's the ones who don't prepare and then just show up expecting it to maybe not be as bad, because there's going to be a lot of floodage in areas, because it's an older park. It's an old girl.
That's a really great point.
Prepare yourself. Just wear galoshes. It's fine. Everybody's going to look silly too. So, I mean, I have a ball. And then at that point, sometimes I just like standing and watching like the water hit the rivers of America. It's really soothing. And also, if you don't really want to be in the rain, go on the boat on the rivers of America, and then just go on the Mark Twain and go around and enjoy the rain.
Very peaceful.
As it goes down.
Very serene.
Go
you're
on
right.
the train if you don't really want to be on the water. Does the train still run? Yeah, it runs in the rain. And then, so like those are like my little tips, because they're, have fun. Go on the rides. Don't hide out. Enjoy it. Go to Carthay Circle. Sit outside. Have like sitting under the awning and just listening to the rainfall, because that's soothing. It's your vacation, right?
And oftentimes,
make the best of it.
if you are sitting outside, you'll notice that very few people are outside, and therefore you kind of get a view you don't normally get to see.
Yeah, and you actually like listen to the music and stuff, and actually like listen to it, because you're not gonna have the the street music and stuff that go by like five and dime.
Yeah,
but it's still really fun to go to like DCA in the rain and just like walk around, and no one's gonna bump into you because it's not gonna be like that many people there.
And you brought up a great point. Disneyland in particular, especially in flash flood type conditions where that rain just, hits heavy. Boy, the backup flooding of that park is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
They do their best, of course, to try and keep things moving and to keep the water, out of particular areas. But I can tell you, especially on Main Street, my goodness, the amount of pooling that happens.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing less fun than sopping wet shoes, Tyler.
That's
the worst.
100% true.
That is the worst feeling in the world, right?
It's real bad. Yeah. So there's I know this isn't Disney, but like over in Florida at Universal, they have the Popeyes bilge ride barges ride. That thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go on that thing, you need to like buy a different pair of shoes to get on that ride, because when you get off, it's like they threw you into the water. You did
Sue
not.
the park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. So we did that one time, and just walking around the rest of the day with just like soaked shoes. It is the worst. But
It's horrible.
it's funny because I feel like, Katrina, we didn't really have time to talk about our lists, but I feel like we have the same exact list. So I'm just gonna go down my list and say the same things, possibly a little differently, I guess.
Okay. Just a little twist.
Reinforcing Katrina's list here. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was going to say, too, like, embrace the rain. Like, that's kind of the main thing, is, like, go there knowing it's going to be a rainy day. Bring your stuff that you're going to need. And if you embrace it, you have the right boots, you have the poncho, you have the umbrella, whatever.
Got your gloves. Stay warm.
It's going to
That's the
be,
thing.
it won't, if you're ready for it, it's not that miserable. In my opinion, anyway. It's kind of actually nice, because I would rather have the rain to contend with, because then at least I know I can like cover up from it, than have like a huge crowd that I have to like, maneuver around constantly, or like be stuck behind somebody that doesn't want to move very fast, or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. But and then second, like, yeah, she just went right into the Mark Twain, because that was like,
You're joking.
That was no,
Really?
I'm serious. I was like, yeah, the Mark Twain was like, if you think about it,
It's soothing.
it's like an incredible place to enjoy a really rainy day, because you could maybe go get some little chicken tendies over at the stage door, take them on to the Mark Twain with you, sit down on a little seat underneath the awning, take a little cruise around the river, and just enjoy the rain.
Listen to that horn.
Yeah.
Enjoy, honk that horn, whatever you need to do, and the only thing that the Mark Twain is missing is an onboard bathroom. But
Yeah.
other than that, you can just enjoy that place for quite a while. I feel like if you're there on a pretty slow day too, you don't even have to get off. I feel like you could continue to sit there and they wouldn't tell you to get off. But you know what? Sounds perfect to me. Rainy day, Mark Twain,
Chicken tendies.
get some chili in a bread bowl over at the Golden Horseshoe, whatever. Do they have the chili still? They do, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is the ship to shore? Don't they do
They might do that too, yeah. I don't know.
they do
Anyway.
the soups, at least? Clam chowder bowl?
Clam chowder. I don't like clams that much, but I do like clam chowder. Is that weird?
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Way to
I
be
feel like it, like,
derailing.
I feel like the cream covers it.
I think that's
Oh,
what it is.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
When you're just
The cream and
when you're just
potato, like the
drinking
texture
cream.
and stuff.
Don't think about the,
The cheese.
clams.
Yeah.
you
Drink
know?
the cream.
But my last one is just, if you need to just take a little break, get out of the rain, if it is getting a little crazy, just enjoy a little snack time at one of the lounges or the bars. I mean, one of the great things about so many of the lounges now is there's like all these different shareables that you can get, and just go sit down with your group and just like warm up, go to Hearthstone, sit by the fire and have some drinks, have a nice little plate of food, of snackies
Yum yums.
and some yummies. And I mean, I think that sounds like a really delightful time, honestly. I think the other thing too is like, if you're just into it and you embrace it, going back to my embracing thing, is just like, get on the water rides.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Like, I know we don't have Splash Mountain anymore, but when Tiana's epic log journey of beignets opens, it's going to be a lot of fun to go on that ride in the rain.
Yeah,
And,
we've definitely had a great time on Splash, like over and over again
Yeah.
on a rainy day.
And Grizzly River Run. I mean, if you have your stuff, if you've got your boots and you've got your poncho and everything,
Yeah.
why not get on the water ride?
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a walk-on. So,
And I would say, like, buy, like, if you're like worried about it, because there are some rides where they do have you take off your poncho and stuff, and if you really don't, buy the cheapy ones. Like if you know it's gonna rain beforehand, go buy the cheapy ones and then put it on beforehand, and then always have like a backup in your bag or something, you know what I mean? And then so if you have to take it off and it rips or whatever, because you know it's all gonna rip, then you just put a new one on, nice and fresh. You
can get big packs of ponchos on Amazon for super cheap. And
we do that all the time because it's gonna rip. I mean, I have my rain jacket, I have my poncho, and I have my umbrella. And then when I don't really need it, I take my umbrella, put it away, and then use my poncho. And then if I have to take it off, I have my rain jacket. You know, so you dress in layers. In Florida, it's like miserable because you can't prepare yourself for Florida.
Everything's steamy.
And it's steamy. You can't wear rain boots in Florida.
It's the worst.
In July. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally gonna have like mold in your feet. Like, it's so gross. And then it's like not pleasant. You have to wear flip-flops or like Crocs or something just to survive. That Florida is a whole different ball game when it rains. Like that one, I will literally just hibernate. I will not go out and I will not embrace it.
Wow.
But in California, it's cold because it's raining. You know it's going to be cold. So you know you can wear rain boots and stuff like that. So then you're able to just have fun. You know, if it rains, that's when all the Californians come out with their like little galoshes and then their scarves and everything. Like we're literally going into some kind of crazy, I don't know, apocalyptic universe.
As the kids of today would say, we're built different.
Yeah.
That's what we would say on a rainy
California
day.
rainy days are the
I'm always
best.
saying that.
I'm just built different.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'll never forget on a trip to Disney World in July, never again. I remember walking through after a huge rainstorm. My friends and I, we were all in our ponchos walking along down Main Street. And we just all happened to look over at the exact same time. And there was a little girl, probably, I don't know, 9 or 10, came running up in her poncho, massive standing pool of water, jumped in the pool of water, huge splash went on her, I assume, sister. She knew her. Went all over her sister. She started laughing, thought it was hysterical. And her sister leaned back and knocked her. Just right hook.
Deserved
straight
it.
to the face. Girl dropped into the water. Water went all over her. Happiest place on earth. Most magical place on earth there.
Most magical. So magical.
Family memories. Never forget.
I've got a smile on my face.
Right. I always think about, too, Disneyland, you know, because there are so few indoor places to really escape to. I guess in park, a good spot in Disneyland specifically probably would be right there along Main Street at the theater. If you wanted to go see Lincoln, that's a nice long show. You get to stay indoors for a while. And
Golden Horseshoe.
Golden Horseshoe is another wonderful one. The Mickey Shorts, the theater, right? The Main Street Cinema. And I always, in California Adventure, especially on a rainy day, love dropping myself into see Mickey's, Grand Opera. I mean, who doesn't want to do a little Philharmagic? Sure. And, of course, the Grand Californian Hotel, my hideaway.
Yeah. It's
the
so
lobby.
peaceful when it's, like, raining and then you see the fire and you're like, ooh.
Love me a lobby of the Grand Californian.
So good.
It's so nice.
So
You're like,
good.
it's so relaxing and so cool. Like, it's just nice when it rains, you know? And, like, I remember even in Florida, it was...
So cozy.
It doesn't tell you when it rains. And so, like, there was a day I was getting off of Buzz, and it just poured. And it was, like, downpour. And everything was flooded outside. And I had my white sneakers on. And I was like...
No!
I am not going out in this. And so I literally waited there, and my battery was going to die, and Tyler was supposed to pick me up over at the Contemporary, and I was like, oh my God, this is the worst. I waited like an hour, but like the gift shop at Buzz to wait until it stopped raining, and then finally it was like little hints, and so I booked it. And I ran so fast to the Contemporary, and as soon as I got inside, it started downpouring again.
Yeah. That's how it happens.
That's crazy.
That
California,
whole
that
region,
doesn't happen. I mean, it downpours, but like in advance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at least they're kind enough to tell you, like, hey, we're probably gonna rain today.
Something
so
you can
should probably
prepare
prepare yourself, and then it may rain harder. So then you're not prepared. But
yeah, that Central Florida weather is very erratic and nuts. Like
so
it just does what it
temperamental.
wants to do. And
like, chill out, Florida. Okay, just take a chill pill and be like California. Just
Just chill.
prepare yourself, you know,
Just chill, brother.
in advance warnings of, except for earthquakes, they don't tell you in advance.
Except for that.
But the weather is pretty nice. So I would say try it one day. Just try it. Go in the rain, enjoy it, prepare, and then just have fun. Embrace the wetness, you know?
Embrace it. Yeah, typically Disney...
And then you'll just dry off at a hotel.
Well, grab a towel. Typically Disney will only close early when there has just been a ridiculous amount of people that have left. You know, they won't just shut things down early for no reason. It's
They
always
didn't close
like,
New Year's when we went. That was the best year ever when it poured rain and
Your
everybody
own
was
park?
leaving. And I
Everybody was
was walking
gone.
in and I was like, my little bestie Holly gave me her heat packs. She has like emergency heat packs in her car. Not sure why. But she's like, let me get you some heat packs.
smart girl.
And then she handed them to me and I put them in my pockets and I was so toasty and warm. I was like, oh my God, this is the best. Oh my God. Best New Year's ever. There was like 15 people at DCA watching the countdown.
We walked up to
Wow.
the World of Color, like New Year's celebration thing, like 2 minutes before it started,
11:56.
and
We
just
like literally walked from
and,
Disneyland to DCA in like 2 minutes.
and you could have chosen anywhere to be up against the fence and just be in the front row. It was great. Yeah.
Everybody else was back in their hotel watching New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
And there you were out in the elements.
Oh,
Having
we
the
were ready. See,
bestest of times.
we had the boots, we had the ponchos, so it was actually like fun. It was actually a really fun night. And that's the other thing too, is it's the only time you're gonna look out over the park and just see like one person maybe in your view. Like it's beautiful.
No,
What a way to
no
ring in the new
pushing one
year.
another to try to get through places. No lines.
None of it.
nothing. It's just so peaceful and relaxing. You know, that's why you just gotta just try
Go
it.
in the rain.
Yeah, we
That's
go to
what I'm
Universal
saying.
in the rain all
Do
the
it.
time too. It's sad. Sometimes it rains during the week, and then I just get so antsy because I'm like, "This is the best moment to go to the parks." It never rains on the weekends.
It's true.
Just rains during the week, and then I'm like sad and depressed because I'm like, I want to call in sick, and I want to go to the parks,
Slide on out to them parks.
but then I'll get in trouble.
I want to be a damp Debbie, she says.
Damn, Debbie.
And there she goes.
Sure. Anyway, yeah.
Out to the parks. Well,
Rainy days.
you let us know. Any tips that you have for a rainy day at the Disney theme parks? West Coast, East Coast, we'd love to hear from you as always. It can be a time where people run. They flee. In fact, most people do, right? They all go for the gates as soon as it starts raining because who wants to be there when it rains? There's nothing to do. Au contraire. It turns out there's plenty to do, and there's more to do for you if you stick around and embrace it, just like we said. Well, that about wraps things up for us here on this edition of Kingdom Report Live. I can't believe it's already over. Feels like it just began.
Ooh.
But this is the way things roll sometimes. Grateful to have been a part of your weekend once again. Grateful to have once more brought you some Disney magic, and we always invite you back. That's right. Hoping to see you here next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific for an all-new broadcast. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. See you next week for a new Kingdom Report Live.